how to try to put this thing together. And one of these days we'll be flawless. And we'll be operating as a fine-tuned lawnmower.
That's right. Or should we be a Boeing 757 or a DC-10?
There you go. I'll take either
Keep
one
it
of
on
those.
brand.
Yeah. We
That's
have a Mark Porter, and I haven't seen him on here, and he's hopefully going to join us. I hope he remembers that we want to talk about Pan American, the new Pan American. Years ago, we had Eastern Airlines 101. That's what we called it, 101. We were the beginning. We started in the 20s. And then after we went out of business, another gentleman came in and got some funding and put together an idea that we could get Eastern 201 in the air using the brand. Hey, Elaine, I'm going to say Elaine, but I'm going to finish talking. Good to see you. But anyhow, President Ed Weigel came along, and Ed did a good job of getting things started. He had a good team. I went down and visited with him and the team when they first started, and we did some shows with Ed on the radio show years ago. And but at any rate, what happened there was it was underfunded, so therefore didn't take off. The airplanes were there; they were painted in the Eastern colors, and it just didn't take off. You got to have money, and especially a lot of money today with prices of fuel the way it is today. So Ed decided that he'd try again. And this time he's trying to put Pan American Airlines back in the air. Now, Ed at one time was a vice president of Pan American before he ever came over with Eastern. And so he's got things organized. They've got the airplanes assembled, a few of them that they're purchasing. And it'll be, I guess, the same livery brands with the Pan American, that's made it so famous around the world. And it is a world legacy carrier. So we're wishing him well. We hope to eventually have him on the air and talking about it. But Mark has always had his ear to the runway, you might say, and picked up on information about who's doing what and who's not doing what and who's going out of business and who's buying airplanes. And he's always an interesting fellow to talk with on the radio. So we're hoping he'll appear. But it looks like we've got some guests, Emily, that especially over here, Kathy is becoming a regular, by golly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We know it's going to be a good show when we have Kathy on the line.
Yeah. And now we have Elaine Bankston, and she and I have been in contact there. She's telling me about what her plans are, and we want to hear about those plans, Elaine. So can we turn it over to Emily? Can I turn it over to her, or you turn it over to her, or however we're going to do it?
Yes.
And then we can.
I just want to do Of course. Yes. First, a note for our first-time listeners. We're Airline Radio Show. We discuss any and all things aviation. We're often focused on the golden ages of flying, but really anyone with an aviation story, whether you're former employee, retired employee, current pilot, grounds crew, a flight agent, like Kathy. Really, we just get on here and we like to talk about some of those good memories or otherwise. I like to think of it as sort of like a Facebook post where normally you'd be writing comments back to each other, but the Airline Radio Show is an opportunity to get face to face and really just share the oral history or the oral stories that we all have. And I did
Yeah,
want to welcome our longtime co-host, Harry Lindquist. Good to see you, Harry.
absolutely.
Good to be here.
Great. And our other two guests on the line today, Kathy, a former Eastern Airlines flight agent, correct?
Right. Ticket agent.
Good. Ticket agent. And we're also welcoming Elaine Bankston this week. Elaine, I think you're a first-time joiner of the Airline Radio Show.
Well, I did one other time with Neil. It's been quite a while ago, but he was very accommodating, and sorry it's taken me so long to get back, but I finally figured out how to do
Figured it out.
Yes, the technology is it's something to figure out for us all on our first time. So we're glad that you joined with us. And I also wanted to note for anyone who is listening through the Captain Eddie player, or it's your first time joining in a while, let us know. We do offer the Images in Flight audio soundtrack. It is a 12-track orchestra from Eastern Airlines circa 1960s, I believe. And it is just an absolutely beautiful arrangement. So it's also very rare. You cannot find this anywhere else. So I'll get with you guys after the call, and anyone who doesn't have a copy, I'll be happy to send you over the link. But without further ado, who wants to go first? Any of our co-pilots here on the line? Elaine, I did hear that you might have a story or two for us. Is that true?
Yes, I do. I have written my autobiography entitled, well, I first entitled it Farm Girl Takes Flight. And then every time I do a book signing, women will say, this could be a movie. So I decided to send my book off to Angel Studio, and they replied back to me that they want me to do a torch, which is, I guess, like a little mini series of what my story would look like in film. So
That's incredible.
Sent it off. Yeah, well, we'll see if it works.
I'm familiar with Angel Studios.
Yeah.
Is that the same studios that produced The Chosen?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes,
So
but
is Faith a big part of?
It's voted on. It's no guarantees, but I've got two people that want to do a little film. One is a senior student from Liberty University, and the other one is she teaches film at Brightpoint here in Midlothian, Virginia, and she's done very well and received awards for her filming, and she wants to do a biography of my life and my story, and so it's not cheap. So I set up a GoFundMe page, and if anyone would like to help make a movie, it's right there in the front of my book, or I can send cards, and this is a card with my link to, or you could just type in GoFundMe and put in Elaine Bankston, and I should pop up.
Okay.
This is I'm also an artist, and this is a portrait I did of me and my pet chicken, Nick. And I also, Molly Day, the PA supervisor, asked me to do PR work for Eastern. They sent me to all the major golf tournaments, and I led a very humble life my first few days on the farm. And I had a pet chicken. I like I said, did the PR work for Eastern. Here's
That's
my
wonderful.
class.
We'll definitely post up your links on our website, so that's way it's easier for people to find. For anyone listening, if you just go to airlineradioshow.com and then to the flight log section, give me maybe till about Sunday before you check for that, but I'll be sure to put it up there. And Elaine has some wonderful pictures in her book. Elaine, quick question. So the GoFundMe supports your documentary efforts, but what
Yes.
about purchases of the book? Would that also help you?
Purchases of the book, the proceeds go back to making more books and to go to my Life Choices ministry,
Okay.
which is a book about the choices we make in our life and the battle of the flesh and the spirit. My first trip out of the country, I went around the world.
Oh my goodness. I love that you have so
And-
many pictures. We should use some
and
of
I-
those for the website.
Okay, and
We're
I teach
always
art on cruise
accepting
ships.
photos.
Okay,
Yeah.
I teach art on cruise ships around the world, and God has blessed me. I give Him the praise and the glory for it.
Yes, praise God.
So it's on Amazon. Stories of my life growing up on the farm, a lost love, ups and downs of being a flight attendant, my travels around the world, my love of art, and my walk of faith.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. We will definitely
Thank
link that up.
you.
And I know Neil is a published author as well. Neil, I am just realizing we haven't linked any of your work, and you have
Well,
what, 3 of them?
Elaine, where are you from originally? Where are you living
Missouri, out in the middle of the cornfields of Missouri.
now? All right. All right.
Yeah.
Where the
and then
corn grows as tall as an elephant's eye.
Absolutely. And the winters are severely cold and the summers are severely hot. But,
we know about the hot summers here in Florida.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, we do.
Well, thank you for having me.
I've not seen it.
Thanks so much for having me.
I've not
and
seen
letting
Cheryl
me, share my story.
or heard from her. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. Harry, how you been?
I've been doing good. Good to meet everybody here. Cheryl and Elaine, I don't think I've met them. Kathy, I also started out on the ticket counter with Eastern in Huntsville, and it's amazing what the technology was today compared to then. I think when I started, I don't think even Visa or MasterCard were in use. There were a couple of travel cards, but I don't think Visa or MasterCard were common. Maybe Diners Club was in use, or maybe American Express. But, all the tickets were written by hand. Everything was done by hand, and totally different from today or any time in the recent past. But it was a good experience being on the ticket counter. Of course, also at a small station, you did everything except pilot the plane. You loaded, you unloaded, you cleaned it, you did whatever you need to be done. And that was an interesting life experience.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah. Did it all.
It was it.
Yeah, when I first started, we already had the automation for the ticketing. And I worked with an old timer at the time. People would come up and say, "Do you accept carte blanche for payment or American Express?" He'd say, "We take anything but a Wheaties box top." You remember? That's how old he was. At the time, people knew what that meant. But yeah, the automation
what does that
was
mean?
begun.
Is that like the box tops coupons you get on the cereal?
Yeah, you could collect them back in the olden days and get a reward. I still remember that.
Neil, while we're waiting for Mark, hopefully Mark comes on, but I know Emily posted a video about Pan Am. I watched one this week too, but Pan Am in the history of the commercial airline business, you just can't credit Pan Am enough with what they started. The first international travel really, and in Pan Am's day, airline flying was a real luxury. Very few people did that. It was very expensive for one thing, and that's who Pan Am catered to in the early days, was the kind of the elite class. I found it interesting also that Juan Trippe really was the guy that got Boeing to make the 747. He thought it would be great for business, but it turns out it was almost the worst thing he could have done, because that brought airline travel to the masses, and that was not Pan Am's market.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I remember that, as a matter of fact, Emily, thanks for posting that video. It is an excellent history of Pan Am. Very, very good.
Yes, of
And
course. I know Pan Am is
know it, but there are
iconic.
two parts to it. There are two parts to it. And I was about ready to give up after the first part. And then all of a sudden, here comes the real history of Pan American following it. And so it was really,
Now,
really good.
what do we think? It was Pan Am. I know it was more famous than Eastern. Maybe that's correct. But was it more beloved? Because with my experience on the show, I've heard a lot more fond memories of Eastern, and maybe that's just the nature of we mostly have Eastern employees. But I think Eastern would give Pan Am a run for its money in terms of loyalty.
I think you're right. I really do. I think that Eastern was loved by, of course, the members and the public. Used to, a while back, they had a club that was called the Wheel Club, WHEAL. The Wheel Club. I see Harry smiling. I think he probably remembers that. And it was not a good image that the acronym WHEEL was there. It was introduced by businessmen that had been left at the gate, and they felt like that Eastern did not have any concern about the business class travelers. So they started their own little club. We hate Eastern Airlines Wheel. And it lasted for a while. It was back in the 50s. And I think it went on up until the early 60s. But we had to bring ourselves out of that bad image. Somebody say
Yeah,
something.
so it sounds like Pan Am catered to that business class, where Eastern was more not so much putting so much emphasis on those first class passengers, business class passengers. They were just, flying, providing a service.
There were only 3 flag carriers. When I say flag carriers, we used to call an airline a flag carrier if it operated in the country that of its origin, and they were flag carriers. And Pan American was the legacy flag carrier for America, and then TWA was a flag carrier. Northwest Airlines became a flag carrier. So these were around the world airlines that set the image. Eastern pretty much mostly dedicated itself to the domestic flights. We did strike it rich when we went into the Caribbean. And we actually owned almost the Caribbean. I even had a beautiful building there in San Juan. I still can see it in my eye. The Eastern Airlines building in Pan American. So at any rate, yeah, I think more of a world-class airline, Pan American has to be right out there in the front. Yeah.
Well, based on the images that I've seen from this time, everyone was a luxury passenger. All the foot space and
we were the last
in-flight
flight to wear the
meals.
white
It's just not the
gloves
same
and have the
now.
hat. And I was hired in October 1968, and I was with Eastern till the bitter end. And more after that, I went with U.S. Air. My last day with them was 9/11. I was in the air over New York the same time my pilots saw the first plane hit while we're still in the air.
Oh, goodness.
They didn't tell me till I got on the ground. And that's going to be in my second book. I'm working on that
Wow.
now.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Interesting.
horrible.
Oh, my
Very interesting.
goodness. I
Yeah.
cannot
I
imagine.
won't go into detail, but yeah, it was a horrible experience that day.
We're having a little audio problems, Elaine, with your transmission. But yeah, the Eastern and Pan American were right up there with the carriers. As a matter of fact, I found something very interesting. I've known about it for a long, long time. Probably not many people do know about it. And Emily, I'm sending it to you because I want you to explore it and I want to do a show about it. It's called Conquistador Sierra something. Conquistadors. And it's the story
Okay.
of the airline executives starting their own secret club out west in Arizona. And it was started by the founder of TWA, Jack Fry.
Hey, Neil, we're getting
And,
a little bit of choppy
Eddie
audio from
Rickenbacker
you.
was a member of it. So
Yeah, I think
at
we're
any
having a
rate,
problem with your
we're
audio.
having some problems. I don't know if we can get this solved or not.
Maybe if you just plug and unplug your headset, I think maybe the wire came loose. Quick trivia question, though, for people on the line. Now, this is modern day, but I'm just curious. Any guesses? Flight attendants across the country are urging passengers to stop doing this one thing. And it's one of the most common frustrations they say that they face today on the
I'd
job.
say turn off your cell
Any
phone.
guesses as to what that is?
Really? Okay.
Good guess, Elaine. Not quite.
Emily,
Yeah.
I'll say putting the window shade down.
But, okay, another good guess, but not right on the money. Kathy, do you have a guess before I reveal the answer?
Sorry, I had to go to another computer and I missed that.
Okay, yeah, no problem. You might enjoy this one though, so I'll tell you. Flight attendants across the country are urging passengers to stop this one behavior. They say it's flight attendants are saying it's one of the most common frustrations they face on the job. Any guesses as to what passengers are doing?
Just tapping them with, poking them.
Ding, ding, ding,
I
ding.
think I
Kathy
read
got
about
it.
Yeah.
Flight attendants are
Touching
urging
them.
passengers to stop touching them to get their attention, saying the behavior is one of the most common frustrations they face on the job. Several veteran flight attendants recently discussed the issue on the Jump Seat Chronicles podcast, encouraging travelers to use call buttons or simply speak up when they need assistance. We get poked and touched as flight attendants, co-host Joshua Boyd said, describing it as one of the most persistent issues crew members encounter. It happens so
Wow.
often that if we got paid
That's
$1
something new
for it,
since
we
I
would be millionaires.
I
Boyd said.
I can't remember anybody poking me, but times have changed. Times have changed. Yeah. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. People are struggling with their behavior, I think, on flights nowadays. And a point I think Harry made earlier, flights are more commonplace now. It's like going to the grocery
And
store.
maybe,
so you just kind of
and
encounter
maybe
all walks of life.
also, since the
And
flight
I just
attendants
thought
don't
that was
serve as
funny.
many meals and drinks as they used to, maybe, that might be part of the problem too, is that they're not visible. They're not visible in the aisles enough.
That's a good point, Elaine. Yeah. I like that. It gives the passengers some grace there. Maybe it's a two-sided coin, right? Okay, Neil, I think we got you back. As you were saying,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's a little rumbly, like you're in a scary
Yeah.
movie, but I think it's good enough.
Yeah. Emily, let me hear
Still,
your
still
voice.
shaky a little bit, but
Good.
I don't know how much time we have, but I'd like just a few more minutes when they're at the end to say a few things. You want me to?
Okay, yeah, we normally go until about 2 o'clock, but since I don't think we're going to get Mark today, unfortunately, but we can try to reschedule him. What do you think, Neil?
Yeah, we're gonna try to get this system is
Yeah,
new to Mark as well. So we're still trying to figure out. We might come up with something different next broadcast. In that our technicians here they do TV as well, and that's an interesting idea where we can do television.
That's what it looks like me,
And
doesn't she?
I don't know how that's going to work, but at any rate, we're going to talk about it, explore it, and see what's best, because I don't like the sounds that make us sound like we're trying to gargle and talk at the same time. And that's what I'm hearing. I don't know about from you, Emily. Is yours coming in clear?
I'm clear on all audio except for yours.
Yeah. Emily, I don't even
So-
hear you anymore.
Hello?
Okay. Well,
Well, I
we'll
think
get
now is a
Mark's
good
schedule.
time to hand it over to Elaine. We'll make it kind of a shorter show today, just because we lost our guest. But any co-hosts on the line, Harry, Cheryl,
Oh, okay.
Kathy,
Well, I
feel free to
don't know
jump
whether I
in. But
said this
Elaine,
or
you have the
not, but the
floor.
book is available on Amazon. If you want a personalized copy, you can email me or PM me. And I just remembered that I didn't talk about, I'm an artist and I did a painting of the old Atlanta airport. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yes, it's a
it
little
was
bit hard to see
vacated
here,
and
but
they
I can see it.
took me to the top of the tower when it was
Wow,
vacated.
incredible.
And there's a story behind each and every image here. And it took a lot of research, but I sent it off and won a ribbon. So it's at 9 museums and Jimmy Carter's library. If anyone wants a copy, I still have a few left. You can email me at ELANESART, Elaine's Art, no I in Elaine, at MSN.com.
Okay, great. And that is really beautiful. I am partial to the Hartsfield Airport. I'm from Georgia. It was the first airport I ever flew out of. And, it's the busiest in the world. So there's
Emily,
lots to
were
like
you a
about
flight
it.
attendant?
And it's
Also?
Delta's home. So
What was yours?
I wasn't. But my claim
Aw.
to airline fame here is that my grandma
Oh.
was. She was a flight attendant for Delta. And I
Oh.
have a picture of her on the site in her Delta uniform, and it's one of my favorite photos of her. And she didn't tell too many stories about her time as a flight attendant. That was back when they had the rule that you couldn't be married. And so, yeah, so she got married and tried to keep it a secret. And they caught her when she tried to add her husband, my grandpa, onto the insurance. So that's pretty much all I know about it. But I try to get some stories out of my dad, and I'm sure it was very formative to her experience. She went on to be a teacher, but I do love that photo of her.
Yeah, you couldn't be married. Yeah. and the jets were just coming out. My first flight was on an Electra, and I had a famous actor on the back of the lounge area, and if you, I should
celebrity
researched his name. If I said it, everybody would know it. He was in on TV, country guy. Oh gosh, it won't come to me, but I'll text it to you later. Yeah, and then that was my first flight. Two stops up to New York and back to Atlanta that first month, and then I got on the DC-9, and I thought I was high rolling.
Oh my gosh, how fun! Hey, my first flight, not as a flight attendant, but as a passenger, was also Atlanta to New York.
Yeah.
So that's a good route.
Well, I'm going to use captain's authority here.
All righty. We trust our Captain Neil.
Our communications is terrible. It really is. It sounds like it's coming from the bottom of a Fritz bottle. I don't know. It's just not coming across good. And
underwater audio.
That. So we're going to terminate this, Emily, if you can go ahead and call it. And then we'll see if we can work things out better on the next show, or have a different show, or do a podcast show, or do something that is a little bit better than what we're doing today. It's just not what we want. It really isn't. And Harry, thanks for bearing in with me. And
sure,
we've done podcasts before. We can do them again. You remember, get Linda, your wife, and we can read some more good Eastern Airlines stories. And at any rate, I'm going to have you to call it right now, Emily. This is the end of the show today.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining. Don't forget, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and X. And thanks for flying with us. We will see you next time. And one last special thank you to our co-host today, Elaine Bankston, Kathy, and Harry. We'll see you next time on Airline Radio Show.
Bye.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
That's even bad, so let's just quit. Cut it.
Headed somewhere in flight.